welcome to Good Deeds, Real Estate with a Mission. I am Diane Davidson. This is Bill Weidecker from the Fine Homes Group at Keller Williams, and this is what we call, can you turn that a little bit, please? Product placement.
Oh, might be a product placement.
Yes.
Easy for you to say. Fine Homes. Well, if you want one of these, you just got to call us. But I like it because it does keep my coffee hot. At the time of recording, it's late morning, and I poured this into my cup at around 7:30 this morning. Still piping hot.
Piping hot.
Double-walled technology.
And we have bright red.
Yes.
Or black in two different styles. With
Okay.
different,
this
great.
is just working out.
That wraps things
and yours
up for
is
today.
Yeah, hey, we got to go.
Okay, good. Thanks for tuning in. So we're going to talk about first-time home buyers, yes?
Well, if you say so. The National Association of Realtors does an annual survey of home buyers and home sellers. And this year, that percentage that was first-time home buyers was the lowest it's been since they've been keeping a record.
For 2024.
Yeah.
Yep.
This past,
Yep.
the 2024 numbers. Yep. So that's 24%.
Wow.
One in four. And honestly, that number was 35 to 40% on a regular basis. And that number has been steadily, there's lots of reasons, but steadily going down over the last handful of years. And I mean, the big ones, homes have gotten way more expensive.
Right.
Interest rates have gone up. And because of that, affordability is an issue. But in addition, people are holding on to their homes longer because they have low mortgage rates, or they're baby boomers that are saying, hey, I'm good for a while. I've settled right in.
Right. Yep. They love their rate.
That is all going to change over the next 5 years. And so that number is going to go back up. So if you're not a first-time home buyer, you're going to be one if you're not already a homeowner. And for those that say, well, it's an affordability issue, I really want you to think about this. If you're paying $2,000 a month in rent, right, or call it $2,500 because I can do the math. I did it for a housing forum. You're spending $30,000 a year on rent, and then $2,500 is not out of the realm of normal these days.
Yep.
And so in 5 years' time, you've you've spent $150,000. How's that working for you?
Yep.
You got nothing to show for it. Well, you've got a stack of rent receipts.
Well, the other thing is that properties are appreciating about the same clip, right? And so you don't catch up.
No.
So that you're not, we've worked with several buyers who we basically ask them if they absolutely positively love where they're renting. And we've never had somebody say, yes, we do. We've had them say, we like it. And so we it's a change of mindset, if you will, where we start looking, they start focusing on things that they would like to live in, but not necessarily fall in love with, so that they can get onto that sort of, into that cycle, ride the appreciation, and not being, as you said, collecting rent receipts.
Yeah.
Which makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting, we talked about this on the team, people should, prospective buyers, in fact, I think we have some questions in that we're going to cover that they should be asking. But one question should be, on average, how many offers does it take when you're representing first-time buyer to actually get a house that they want, or get a house they're meant to have? And I think because that's an important thing. I think there are a lot of first-time buyers who could be partnering with agents who aren't necessarily adept enough at getting them the house that they're meant to have. And I think that's really critical because, again, otherwise you don't catch up to the appreciation. So you have something, a little something over there.
When it comes to first-time home buyers,
yes,
we wrote the book. I mean, we literally wrote the book.
Do tell. Do show.
There's a book called Your First Home, written by Gary Keller and Jay Papazan. And they wrote this book because all of us can think about our first home, right? All of us that have grown up with some home ownership in our life and now own a home, all of us remember the very first home we had. And we are big proponents in getting people onto that ladder. Mm-hmm. And so thinking of this idea of a rental is rentals should be looked at as a transitional period of time, whether it's your first property that you've ever had on your own, renting for a while to transition into home ownership, or some gap in between home ownership at some point in your life to transition from one home to the next. So this book, all you got to do is reach out to us. We'll make sure we get you a copy. But it's very comprehensive, and I wanted to cover, there's a couple things. Number one is the 7 duties of a real estate agent, or it's your choice today, or questions that you should ask every real estate agent. And it really comes down to, which would you like to know?
We should cover the 7 duties,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
in our next podcast, let's cover the other.
What
How's
a tease.
that?
What a tease. Okay. Here are the 7 duties of a real estate agent, and it's outlined in the book so that you can get a sense when you're hiring somebody, do they meet the criteria? So here they are. Number 1, educate you about the market.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you to suspend all comment until we get through this. Number 2, analyze your wants and needs. Number 3, guide you to homes that fit your criteria. 4 is coordinate the work of other needed professionals. 5, negotiate on your behalf. 6, check and double check paperwork and deadlines. And then 7, finally, solve any problems that may arise. Those are the 7 duties of a real estate agent. Do we do that?
Absolutely.
You sure?
I am positive.
All right, so scale of 1 to 10, educate you about the market.
10.
Analyze your wants and needs.
10.
So far, you're doing well. Guide you to homes that fit your criteria.
I love that it said guide you. 10.
Why do you say that?
Because sometimes, we always say we get you the home you're meant to have. And we also like to say, which might not be the first home you think you want. We have been at so many closings where a buyer has said, I am so glad our offer wasn't accepted. I'm so glad we didn't make an offer on such and such. We get them to the right place. And that's about guiding them and helping them to get a home, not just to find a home.
Yeah, because the
I love
finding part
could be theirs. They could hear about it before us.
Number 4, coordinate the work of other needed professionals.
Absolutely. We've got a great team of professionals.
Scale of 1 to 10, you didn't answer.
10. I'm sorry.
Okay.
10.
Okay. Negotiate on your behalf.
10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Ooh, that
Oh my
sounds
God.
like 40. Check and double check paperwork and deadlines.
10. We have a little something we say about that. It's our goal to get you the home you're meant to have. It's our responsibility to protect you all along the way. And that's what a fiduciary does.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
And then solve any problems that may arise.
Absolutely. And we don't make the problems either. There are agents who do. Got to say it, but we are.
We solve.
Can I say something, Bill? Of course I can.
Of course
I may.
Yeah,
Yes, I may.
mean, who am I to get in the way?
Most of the time, our clients, either buyers or sellers, don't even know the problems exist. We solve them. We only involve them if it's some step they personally need to take. And we're very proud of that. Mm-hmm. Less stress for our clients.
Okay,
So
sounds
that's my
like
score.
10s across the board.
But that's only a 70.
No, you added like 3 extra 10s in there.
So I got 100.
But I think this is important. This book is very helpful because if you're a first-time home buyer, you get one of these. All you got to do is reach out to us. We'll make sure you get one, and we'd be happy to help you along the way. If you've got a family member that's going to be a first-time home buyer, another part of the world, call us. We'll get them one, and then we'll talk about the 7 questions. I think it's maybe the questions, 8 questions
that you should ask a realtor.
You should ask a realtor in our next podcast.
So, and I will say that these questions, all of those apply to a buyer whenever they're buying, right?
Well, that's true.
First, second, 30th time.
That's true.
So,
It says the 7 duties of your real estate agent.
Correct.
So I think those are evergreen. They don't go away.
That's right.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks as always for tuning in. Hope that was helpful. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.